Hello and welcome to Freedom News, the news you can use to help keep Canada free. It has been said by many over the years in Canadian politics that one of the Liberals' greatest weakness is their arrogance. That has been ringing loud and clear with this Liberal government under Justin Trudeau. From SNC-Lavalin to Mark Norman to thank you for your donation, Aga Khan, the list goes on. Arrogance, 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 arrogance. And speaking of course of SNC-Lavalin and arrogance, it doesn't get much more arrogant than Gerald Butts, the same Gerald Butts who was first the architect behind the Liberals' election win in 2015, or as I prefer to call it, the stealing of the election by the Liberals with help from their foreign friends. Then becoming the principal secretary, or I should say as well, or as more accurately called, the puppet master of the Prime Minister. The puppet master involved in SNC-Lavalin, quite possibly the architect of that fiasco. Still a lot of blame to be put on Trudeau for that one as well, because ultimately, as is the ledger in the Oval Office, is something the Canadians agree as well. When it comes to the Prime Minister's office, when it comes to the Prime Minister, the buck stops here. Ultimately, it is the Prime Minister's head that should roll with everyone else underneath him, responsible for this scandal, this corruption. And of course, Butts did resign in disgrace at the height of the LAV scam. But as many had predicted, and well, he's back. He's back in his going to be in his position as very much involved in helping Trudeau get re-elected in 2019, in this October's election. Most loudest ringing bell of arrogance there can ever be. They actually believe Canadians are that stupid, have that short term of memory. No. This is unacceptable. Again, proof that should this monster be handed a second term, it will be the same old Liberal business as usual. The business of the Libranos. We cannot allow that to happen. Cannot allow it to happen. If you think that, if anyone out there thinks that, oh, well, anyone's just better, well, no. The Greens and the NDP aren't better. They're just as bad, if not actually worse. Anyone on the far left who's bringing about socialism, fascism, communism, it's basically dictatorship. We cannot abide by that. The Conservatives, of course, are the strongest ones to replacing Trudeau. Bernier's party does not stand a chance at all. It is so far down the polls. And quite frankly, this YouTuber cannot respect anyone who has been a bold-faced liar about their opponents. And that is what Bernier has done. He has told bold-faced lies about Andrew Scheer. I cannot abide by that. I will not abide by that. I will also not abide by someone who, as a cabinet minister, has been careless with documents dealing with national security issues, leaving them behind at his mistress's house, who was connected, was a former girlfriend to a member of the Hells Angels. Actions like this are unacceptable. Then, of course, there is Bernier's support of social economy, a communist idea. His executive director being connected to Tides Foundation, which of course is funded by none other than George Soros. He also has a member at the national level who is an advocate, who is a huge anti-oil pipeline advocate. These are the kinds of people Bernier is surrounding himself with. The only true patriotic party left is therefore the Conservatives. I know a lot of people think that Scheer is a globalist. He is not. He has made it abundantly clear that he will never sacrifice Canada or our values for anything. He is going to be pulling us out of the UN Global Migrant Compact. He has made that clear. They have fought against the signing of it thoroughly. There are plenty of videos out there of him stating that he is against this. I urge you all to do your research. He is against the UN Global Migrant Compact. As far as him still looking to bid on the Security Council, that's completely a different situation. The Security Council has the power to determine the threats to the planet, to humanity. That is a very valid, very useful position for Canada to have. And of course, he has also made it clear that though he will be making a bid for the UN Security Council, which again laid out is a very good position for Canada to be in, he will not do so by selling out Canadian values, Canada or our values. That is not the markings of a globalist, but the markings of a nationalist, where he will put Canada's interest above all else, including that of the UN. Simply going for a seat on the UN Security Council does not make him a globalist. Making him a globalist would be going for said seat and throwing Canada under the rug to do so. He refuses to throw us under the rug to get this. If that means we don't get it, we don't get it. He would rather us not have a seat on the Security Council and still remain Canada than have us a seat on the Security Council and no longer be the country that we are. Obviously, his attempts is to have both. And if he can't get both, then the seat will be sacrificed. He's not a globalist. He is a nationalist. He is a patriot. Anyone who says otherwise has got their tinfoil hat on too tight, or is trying to split the votes so that the Liberals get to stay in power. Enough is enough. It's time to get behind the real patriotic party that we have at the federal level. Time to get back behind Andrew Scheer and his Conservatives. Thank you for watching. Remember, like if you like, share, comment, of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're able to, please feel free to click the PayPal donation link in the description. Thank you, and God bless.